Dice, synonymous with luck, chance, chaos. Probably the most recognizable component in the history of games, but for as long as humankind has been gaming, we've also been fighting. So it's fitting that Table Battles, designed by Tom Russell and published by Hollandspiele, focuses on dice, their allocation, and outwitting your opponent while leaving enough dice in your pool to execute your maneuvers. Table Battles is a two-player game and what's well described as a thinky filler, a game of wits and patience. I sit here and you sit there, and on each turn we roll and allocate dice in our pool for use in subsequent turns. Each card has a requirement for what numbers or combos of dice it will accept. In smaller text, what you're able to do with your dice. So, what are you able to do with your dice? Well, the most common action you'll take in a turn is an attack. The requirements to execute the action are listed on the card and range from a single die to a pair or two triplets to a full house, each representing the tactical difficulty of pulling off such a maneuver and, as you can imagine, the resource drain of that attack. You see, each player only has 6 dice total, so as you allocate dice to the various wings and formation in your armies, your chances of rolling what you need will dwindle. And you need to be mindful of how you place these dice, because you can only allocate to one formation in a single wing, light blue, dark blue, on a turn, which will create some perplexing strategic bottlenecks. Now, the opposing player sometimes has the opportunity to react to your attack. The most common reaction will be to screen a move, canceling the attack. Sometimes the opponent can mount a counterattack, dealing damage back to the attacker. When one of your formations suffers a hit, remove one of the sticks, which indicate that formation's unit strength. When all of your units are dead, your formation is routed and removed from play. You also slide 1 morale cube from your side to your opponent's side. If you're ever reduced to 0, it's game over for you. Each formation card also names specific targets, and these are the only enemy formations that you can mount the maneuver against. The other win condition is if at the beginning of a turn, your opponent has killed so many of your formations that you can't actually find a target of hers to attack, well, that's game over for you too, my friend. Now, there are a handful of other actions to take, such as giving pursuit to a formation that's been routed, pulling formations out of reserve, or retiring a formation to give you a sudden strategic shift and shake up your opponent's plans a bit. But what I really want to talk about is the theme. It may not look like much, but these sticks and cards and dice are really the building blocks for what is basically an overarching rule set. Table Battles frames out the gameplay and then uses these scenario cards basically as modules representing iconic battles through history, and this is really where Table Battles shines brighter than most. Players will come to embody Cromwell's well-disciplined cavalry at the Battle of Marston Moor, or suffer the desperation of the American rebels, outflanked and outnumbered, at the Battle of Brooklyn Heights. Table Battles takes the subtle theatrics and the historical immersion of a great war game, removes the maneuver element of your standard hex encounter, and distills a detailed simulation down to what should play out in about 20 minutes. As you can see, I don't have a lot in the way of war games behind me. I'm of course familiar with your more popular Twilight Struggle, Axis and Allies, Commands and Colors, GMT's Coin series. But Table Battles brings accessibility to a subset of strategy games that are largely seen as dauntingly complex and lengthy. You'll play 5 games of Table Battles in a night and still have time for more games. And with expansion content already being hyped by Hollandspiele, Table Battles will easily make it back to the table, and often. And that's it. Short and sweet, the module system in Table Battles will keep things interesting for a long, long time. And each battle has the same tactical appeal as a short game of chess. Lure your opponent and wait for the perfect moment to strike. The setup is quick and the action begins immediately. It's the sort of game that I'll bring to meetups or pull out on a quiet evening at home. All in all, a fantastic little game from Hollandspiele. Thanks for watching. Drop any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe to Chit Talk for more tabletop content. Until next time.